Starting at number 10. So if you don't already know her, first thing you got to note is that Mia Khalifa is not Muslim. I mentioned this in a recent episode. And you know, despite wearing a hijab in some of her adult films, she was raised a Catholic. That is a fact. After starring in a clip where she performed wearing the hijab, Mia admitted that she started to receive death threats because of that. She was sent photoshopped images of herself that were completely horrifying. So this led to her leaving the adult industry real quick. We'll get more into that later. And from there, she had to regroup and do her best to continue to move her life forward.
Anytime I can avoid having people recognize me, I will avoid it. And if that means never leaving my house, great, I love my dogs.
Now, the next thing to know is that probably one of the things that she regrets in life is that. Or at least she views it as one of her biggest mistakes. And she said that she didn't get into the adult industry for the money, but she did it to boost her self-esteem. Now, in an interview with the cyclist Lance Armstrong, she said that she didn't put herself out there as a college student when she went to the University of Texas, El Paso, and she was focused on graduating early, all while losing 50 pounds. And at the time, she was 21 years old. She got her body modified in different ways. And then afterwards, she said that her self-esteem was still completely low. So that same year, she was then approached in Miami to do some adult entertainment work. Then she thought about it for 2 weeks, she said. But then she said, and I quote, made the big mistake of saying yes and going in. She said that the experience was nerve-wracking and she called herself 21 and dumb when she made the decision. Now at that time, she didn't even think that people were gonna see the content online because she herself back then didn't even have any social media. That was completely new to her. But you know, of course, the complete opposite happened and here we are years later, still talking about Mia Khalifa. So much interest in her. Anyway, so after she turned 18 years old, she married an American man in February of 2011. And apparently he was a boyfriend from high school, but that came to an end really quick because they separated in the year 2014 and they divorced in the years that followed. However, in 2019, she got engaged to her longtime Swedish chef boyfriend. His name is Robert Sandberg. Now, he had posted an image on his Instagram with a caption that said, "We went to Chicago this weekend and had a wonderful dinner at Smith. I proposed to Mia Khalifa and she said yes. The ring was hidden in a bowl of dried ingredients and came out as a new serving." The caption continues to say, "Mia was too curious and too eager to taste, so she started to eat the inedible ingredients. I told her not to do it and then I put the ring on the finger. I love you so much." So as you can tell, she is continuing to move on with her life. She is in a new loving relationship. But the question still stands. After leaving the adult industry, what did she end up doing? So after she left the industry, Mia Khalifa said that she worked as a bookkeeper for a construction firm, and then she worked as a paralegal in Miami, Florida, United States. But she was too recognizable, she said. And after 6 months, she stopped trying to downplay her internet fame, and then she just decided to move to Austin, Texas, where she since rebranded herself so that she can continue to pursue other career paths. But even before that, in 2017, Mia Khalifa, she announced that she would be co-hosting a daily sports talk show called Out of Bounds, but she ended up quitting that a couple months later. Now, she mentioned this, and I quote, "I didn't want to be in LA. It was my dream job, but I walked away when I realized I wouldn't watch my own show. I love Complex, but they were understanding when I said I wanted to leave." So her career has taken her from Miami to LA to Texas.
My first job after porn was a paralegal for an insurance defense firm. What?
Another interesting fact though about Mia Khalifa is that she has a tattoo of the opening line of the Lebanese national anthem. And she also has another tattoo of the Lebanese Forces Cross. And she got that Forces Cross in 2012 after the bombing in Lebanon. And she said that it was to show solidarity with her father's political views. Mia did clarify though that she wasn't really that much into Lebanese politics to begin with, but she didn't want the country to be bullied by Syria or Israel. And of course, that's where she's from originally, so who wouldn't want to look out and support their home country? Right, so on to fact number 5. Now, it seems that there is another time in her life where Mia really disappointed her parents also. In her school years, this happened. So her parents were not happy at all with her behavior because they caught her smoking weed. And from there, she was actually sent to military school, and she spent several years there. Mia also now hosts her live streams on Twitch. She hosts cooking shows as well as comments on sports on her Twitch channel. Now, fans can tune in for live content based on the subscription package that they choose. And she also used to earn money through Patreon subscriptions, but she has since deleted her Patreon page. And she also has a YouTube channel with 800,000 subscribers and over 40 million total views. So she earns some income from there as well. And she does her best to try to stay relevant. Also, she is a massive Instagram influencer. She has just under 20 million followers. No doubt that she's getting some huge brand endorsements because she's just seen by so many people on social media. Now, the next fact I want to share, it's kind of a sad fact. And Mia Khalifa, she said that she probably would never be able to return to her home country of Lebanon ever again. And it was a country where she experienced many of her firsts. Like, she was born there, she had her first kiss. However, she said that Lebanon has since denounced her completely and she's no longer welcome in the country. So even if she had to travel there, she doesn't think that she'd be safe or allowed to return. She said this in her own words: "It's sad that I can't take my future kids to show them where their culture is from." This is all, by the way, due to her past in the adult industry. This is why it is one of her biggest regrets ever in life. Also, many people believe that she earned a ton of cash from her time in the adult industry. But no, she said in her own words that she made just $12,000. And to her, that wasn't really a big deal because, like I mentioned before, she didn't enter in it for the money. It was all about boosting her self-esteem. And just to add to that point, actually, she said in her own words, "I was very fat at school and considered myself very unattractive. But fortunately, the weight decreased to the end of the senior year at a high school. And from there, I guess she got a little bit more confident and started doing new things." But speaking of money though, let's really just talk about it. Like, what is her net worth? Mia Khalifa's net worth has accumulated to approximately $3 million. And now this is according to celebritynetworth.com. So as you can tell, all of her wealth was attained in her later years, not in her more controversial years.